Hello everybody. Today we are going to be working with one of my favorite programs for programming with called Scratch. Now today you're going to be using one of the tutorials and find your way around using Scratch just a little bit. The first thing that you're going to need to do is if you type into Scratch and you're going to go to coding, press enter, and it's now going to say, if I go down here, to Scratch, Imagine, Program, and Share. Go ahead and click on that link, and that's going to take you to the home screen. Now, you can actually go ahead and create your own profile and join Scratch, where you can make your own different kinds of games, musical items. You can create different types of quizzes. There's an infinite number of things that you can do, and if you take a look through the site a little bit more, you'll see some of the things that people have created, even such complicated games as Mario Brothers and Asteroid, some of the old-time classics. Now, to go ahead and begin, we want to click on Create. So if I click right there, it's going to take me to the beginning of Scratch. Now, what makes Scratch such an interesting program is it uses a series of different commands, but instead of using where you type in all the commands, you're going to use little puzzle blocks. So if you can see the puzzle block that I'm moving right here, that's an example. Now, if you ever get stuck, Scratch has some fantastic tutorials that will take you through everything that you need to know. So if you take a look on the one here, this is the beginning one that will give you the first beginning guide. Now, to look at the different tutorials as well, right here, there's the menu. I'm going to go ahead and click on tutorials. And it gives me all sorts of different things that I can do. So making music, creating stories, making chase games, animating characters, making clicker games, making things fly, creating a Pong game, the old classic, one of the first, well, probably the first video game ever created, animating adventure games. The possibilities are limitless. So again, the two that you want to focus on today are getting started, and we'll give you a little video of what you can do to begin. And then the second one is you're going to try and animate a name. It can be your name, it can be a friend's name, it can be something that you like, whatever it might be. So those are the two tutorials that you're going to choose from. If I could say tutorial again. I'm going to go ahead and click back and just show you just a little bit what some of the very basic things that you can do. Now, if I take a look at my character, the default character that always comes up is this little cat. And what I can do is, if I don't want the cat, here's where he's going to appear right down here on this part of the screen. If I don't want him and I want to choose a different one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on X, and that's going to go and get rid of him. Now, if I go over here to where it says choose a sprite, and I click on that sprite, I can go ahead and choose lots of different possibilities. You've got different categories of animals, people, fantasy, dance, music, sports, food, fashion, and letters. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on animals, and I'll go ahead and choose a bear, something that you see around Montana quite often. Now, once I've got this bear on the screen, I can start using some of the different blocks that are found over here. Now, as I mentioned before, you've got all these different ones to take a look at. You've got ones that work with motion, that change the looks and how the things moves about on the screen, sounds, different events. The first one I'm going to go down to is events. And this is always going to be the one that typically you're going to choose as sort of a starting point to get things moving. So this puzzle piece that you have here, you'll notice it has a little ridge at the bottom. You won't be able to put anything on top of this one. But when I go over here to where this little green flag is, that's going to go ahead and do whatever I've told this to do. So now I'm going to go to motion. So if I go ahead and I drag this across, so the little hand, if I pull on this and I pull it right here, that little puzzle piece locks into place, and I can go ahead and I can change how many degrees I'm going to turn that one. I want to change that to a right angle. Okay, so everyone should hopefully remember that a right angle is 90 degrees. Find the 90 degrees. I click on enter. Now, when I go over and I click on the flag, my bear is going to make a right turn of 90 degrees. Fairly simple, but that's the starting point that you have. Now, if I want to go ahead and move him a certain number of steps, I can go ahead and drag another block onto here. And I can say, okay, I want to choose 300 steps. He might disappear from the screen, we'll find out. Now, if I go ahead again, he's going to turn, if I click on my flag, he's going to turn another angle and then he's going to move. So let's see what happens. Whoops, yeah, he's moved off of the screen. Now, the other thing that is quite interesting about this program is you can change things around with this. So I can change what my bear might look like. I can work with the sounds as well, what the sounds might be working with. I can go to the costumes and change the color of the bear. So let's say, for instance, if I want to go ahead and make him a purplish colored bear or pink or whatever it might be, I'll go ahead and click on my fill bucket and I can go to different pieces of the bear. So it looks like he's got a pink jumper. I can go through and I can change all the different features. Okay. If there's anything that I don't like, I can go back up to these little arrows here and that will undo anything that I've done. So we return him back to what he might look like. If I want to change different parts of where the bear might be, I can move how he is looking on here. So that is going to be used when you want to create different kinds of sprites or movements with your characters. I can add text to it if I wish. Again, the possibilities are limitless. I'm going to let you guys, for this first week, go ahead and just try some of the things on those first tutorials and see what you come up with. And write us a nice little note on Dojo and see what you found, and I hope that you enjoy the program. Now, one last thing that I want to show you before I go is I'm going to go back to my coding section here. If you also want to add backdrops, it's a little bit ordinary on here with just the bear like this, so I can go to my backdrops and I can go ahead and look for different things. If I type in forest to go with my bear, there I've got my forest background, and probably I want to go ahead and change where my bear is. I'll move him again. I'm going to, instead of 300 steps, I'm going to make him go just 20 steps. Oops. Lock that block back into place. And let's see what he's doing this time. So I'm going to move that twice, and there he is. It looks like he's back in a normal position. I hope you all have fun and have a lovely day. Goodbye.